This is not financial advice. Consult a financial advisor should you need it. I thought we were dipping. What happened? Man. Good day, guys. As you see, we've broken out of the ascending triangle, and it looks like we're attempting to attack that local high. That was around 46K. So we could be in the process of breaking out to 48K. It's quite possible. I just wanted to give you a quick market update as we head closer and closer to that ARK Invest decision on the Bitcoin ETF that's going to be on January 10th. So one of two things could happen. It could get accepted and then we continue to head higher, or they could reject it and we start looking for the ETFs that are scheduled in March, right? Because BlackRock and a lot of other ETFs are scheduled for March. I think it's around 4 or so of them. Right, so they could then refile and try to get in for the March ETF. But the bottom line is that we are going to expect volatility. It will be very volatile, both to the upside and to the downside. It's my thesis that even though we will have volatility that will pull back to the downside, I feel that it will get bought up. It's possible that we head down and retest the 30s because we have not, and normally on charts, for charts to be healthy, you end up retesting your base, right? Once you break resistance and you go through, you end up coming back down and retesting it. But we've been bullish for so long that we haven't really retested. If you look at this candle right here, I'm on the weekly, the Bitcoin on the weekly candles. Once we hit around 44K, we came back and we pulled back, and people were wondering if this is when we're going to start testing the 30s, and it just got bought up again. And every time we have a pullback, it gets bought up again. And now we just broke out of the ascending triangle. So this is very bullish activity, and there's no telling where it could lead to. Of course, hindsight is always 20/20, and it would always be best and better to get in at the lows, right? But if you are not able to get in at the lows, you could always get in at a pullback, right? And let's say you get in at a pullback, we break up, something unexpected happens, and we end up getting a more severe pullback to the 30s or to the high 30s. If that does happen, don't despair, because it's my thesis again that we are in a bull market and we're on our way up. So in a bull market, dips are buying opportunities. That's how I look at it. So in the last dip, there are a few projects that I mentioned, and they've started to rebound a lot quicker than I anticipated, which means that we're in profits yet again, which is it's good news. But I'm here for the long haul, and so regardless of what happens short term, I'm going to be getting in on these dips. If we could take a quick look at the projects that are now in the red, which ones are at bargain prices. I'm going to skip over Club Coin. I'm still indecisive on that. Maybe I will start dipping a little bit. This is not one of the premium projects, but they are supported by Diversify and other big backers, right? So that's why it's even on the list. That's why I'm even considering it. So I might start nibbling a little bit. They had a tremendous pullback because it was they were pumped up by a group, and then the group dumped them, right? And if I'm willing to wait 2 years or wait long term, then maybe I'll start nibbling. AnyPad is down on 26%. Rainmaker Games, I believe that they've paused the swap. They had a swap feature where you could swap Rain token for Dual. They've paused it, but they will be reinstating it at a later date. So maybe this might be a good buy the dip opportunity. I recommend you go and do your research, go to their Telegram, go to their Twitter page, find out what exactly the plan is, because you are managing your financial future. But this is just to put it on the radar. Then there's TERT down 20%. Primal down 20%. It's on a discount. DeFi still at a discount at 18%. You have Mass down almost 17%. Tacky, this is a good one to get into. And there are a few others, including Wojak. Now Wojak is going to be good in a bull market, and this is a nice accumulation point. I would not go too heavy, meaning that I would probably get about 15% of my Wojak back here. I wouldn't go all in because we might have further downside. Ultra, of course, is almost a necessity to have some of this. It's good to get some on a dip. Epic Protocol, definitely. I'm going to go down. Findora, another good one, down on a discount. GHX is getting a lot of press recently. It's being recommended by some respected people in the industry, and I would be looking for a bigger pullback on this one. I do want some GHX. It's not my top pick. I do want some exposure though. I would wait until the weekly is not up 133%. So if we get a further dip on GHX, I will be looking at it. So that's it for the bargains today. But there's an honorable mention that I want to bring up, and that is none other than Alderaan, or that's none other than Eldaroon. Sorry, that's none other than I use Algorand with Eldaroon. I don't know why, but ELDA Eldaroon gaming project. It's been quite bullish lately, right? The last pump, it went up to 0.5 cent, and then it had a pullback, right? So this pullback was a little bit more than 50%. For those of you that do Fibonacci retracement, it's probably around the golden pocket. So I will be looking to get in here. I think it's a good bounce point, and I'll just hold. If it takes a week, 2 weeks, and because crypto moves so quickly, this could start bouncing quickly, right? Especially with the movement of Bitcoin. We've just seen Bitcoin break out of this ascending triangle. What if Bitcoin continues higher? If Bitcoin continues higher, then a coin that has a pullback like Eldaroon could take advantage of that, and all of a sudden, you're back in the green again. So that's correct that when you have pullbacks in the bull market, it's buy the dip opportunities. And I want to reiterate that short term, we don't know what the effects of the ETF are going to be short term, right? I mean, it's obvious that we would think that the effects of the ETF is to pump the market, but there could be trickery going on, where they try to psych people out to get them to get liquidated in the leverage longs. They might try to liquidate them. So we don't know what will happen short term. It could be wicks in either direction. But long term, the movement is up. We're going up like stairs. And at some point, we're going to get a very fat green candle. And after that green candle comes, it's going to be very, very difficult to get these kind of prices again, right? After you get a fat green candle, these prices, you're not gonna see them again, right? So that's why every time there's a dip, I get interested, and I'm like, because I'm thinking about 2 years from now, a year and a half from now. I'm not thinking about next week or 2 days. It's very difficult to predict that. But 2 years from now, these prices will be good. So short term, we could have more pullbacks, but again, those pullbacks those are good opportunities for me, right? Everyone's hype about the Bitcoin ETF. We hit 45K again after a pullback to 42K, and it looks like we're going to be heading to 46 and then possibly going to 48. So, just keep that in the back of your mind. And at that point, we could have more volatility. We could have a pullback, or we could start wicking like crazy, especially as we get closer and closer to January 10th. So do keep a good head on your shoulder, and make sure that you don't get psyched out of the market. You don't get scam wicked out, and watch your leverage, and make sure to manage your risk.
Sort of semi-phase here. This is like the market has turned, and we're not seeing the lows again, the 17K. If you do see the 17K, you are the lucky son of a gun. You should buy it with both hands. The odds of that's a gift. At that point, if that ever happens, if we do have it will probably be a very short, brief time. So you might want to jump on that. But anyway, we are beginning to move higher, and we're going to see after the happening, Bitcoin just take off from there, and we'll never see the lows again, 20K again. We're probably never going to see 30K again. Right? We might see 42, 43 after we see the blow off top, but that's the worst case scenario, and so there you go. You right now are buying the lowest point for Bitcoin if we're under 40K while you're watching this. And we're already in the bull run, sort of semi-phase. The market has turned, and we're not seeing the lows again, the 17K. If you see the 17K,
This has been Crypto Excel. Financial freedom. Good luck with your shopping, with your discount hunting, and I hope that we all finish on top, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here. Take care of you and yours. Make sure that you manage your physical, your mental, and your spiritual health. Peace.